I don't care if you know everything you need to know about real estate. If you don't have the right mindset, nothing's gonna happen. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Much love, by the way. We truly do love people. I want you guys to know that. Like, we truly do love people. You know, thank God that I met 2 other people that love people just as much as I do. And I'm sure they feel the same way. You know, like Sal, literally the first day I met him, I'm like, wow, this dude's like crazy. Like, he's just a genuine, beautiful human being, right? Same thing with Alex, you know? So I want you guys to know that that goes a long way. That goes a long way in everything, because if you guys think that real estate is a business about houses, about bricks, and about drywall, you are so wrong. What do you think real estate, what kind of business do you think it's about? People, relationships, people, right? So I want you guys to know that first and foremost, at some point you have to identify that. Like, real estate is just a vehicle, but people, that's the business. That's where it's at. It's all a people business. You know, same thing with cars. Honestly, sales in general. Like, sales in general is all about people. They're buying you. They're not buying whatever you're selling. These people are buying you and what you represent and how you treat them and how you can solve a problem. They can do it with anywhere else. They can do it with anyone else. So with that being said, let's get into it. There's nothing that some of you are going through right now that we haven't gone through, you know? So, and a lot of people, if you take a look at the common denominator with like a lot of entrepreneurs out there, it's usually adversity. It's usually hardship that pushes them. And, you know, in some way, shape, or form, we don't know. Every hardship is different, you know? It could be mom and dad, you know, just ignored you your whole life, you know? You know, because somebody like me would be like, wow, you had mom and dad and that was a hardship, you know, but I didn't have mom and dad, right? So, but yeah, it's how you're impacted. So everybody goes through a different hardship. If you're going through a hardship right now, just know that nothing lasts nothing's forever. Like, nothing lasts forever. You know, that's a good thing and a bad thing, right? So nothing's forever. Are you guys partnered, like, together? Are you guys married? Any married couples in here? Any married couples? No? Oh, yeah, we are now. No. Well, again, yeah. If you were, I was just going to tell you, look, I'm sorry, nothing lasts forever. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. But today we want to talk about, and look, listen, I'm not telling you, we're not sitting here saying, hey, you're not successful, right? Because everybody defines success in a different way. So don't take this offensively, all right? We really just... Yeah, we want to just dig deep into some things, and today that's why we got the mic here, because we're going to put you guys on some hot seats today. So let's get in there.
So Sal, I'll ask you first, and I know that if you guys listen to our podcast, it's a subject that we discussed, but we wanted to get something's like, you got to talk about this. We have a group chat, and Carl's like, this has to be the topic for today's pop-up or meetup. So Sal, just briefly, what is success to you? On any level or any point?
Success to me was different back then. Success to me is different today. And what I call that is a vantage point, right? It's a time vantage point. So when you're 10 years old, or 10 years old, what's success to you? When you get the toy that you like, or your family bought you that, or you got it as a Christmas gift, or whatever it is, like it's a happiness, right? And 15 years old me was different. Success was different. Us probably running away from Iraq and coming here, that was a success. That was a winning streak. At a certain age, you obviously start developing different things, and based on the needs, based on the information that you retain, and based on the circumstances that you have. And before I move on, what Alex was talking about, it was if things are happening for you or happening to you. It's a matter of how you look at it. So if you're here today, and you feel like you got this far because of your circumstances, or you got this far because of the blessings, and if you looked at them vice versa, always look at it in the positive way.
Yeah, I'll keep this simple. For me, yeah, success was the physical things, right? It was actually at first, success to me was just freedom. I just wanted freedom. I didn't want to have a job. I wanted to wake up whenever I wanted to wake up. I didn't want to go to work on holidays. I didn't want to go to work on my birthday. Like, who can relate right now? Okay, a few hands, half the room. Yeah, that to me was success. So that was my number one success goal that I wanted to get to. I attained it. Then it was, okay, I made a little money. Let's go for the materialistic things. And that just, I got it, but there's just no, there is excitement when you get it, but there's no fulfillment. And that gets old really quick. So now, just to keep it simple, success to me is being elite in all areas. I mean, it's financially, spiritually, emotionally, internally, socially, with family, friends, everything, just being elite. And that to me is just what I strive for. And for me, there's no horizon, there's no set goal, there's no amount of money that I want to attain, because I know that there is no horizon. You can continue to drive west on the I-10, but you're never going to reach that horizon. So for me, I understand that now. And like Carlos, I think what you're going to say is I strive for nothing but to be elite. So that's for me.
For me, you know what I would like to accomplish personally? You know, I was praying this morning when I got up, and I was praying last night before I went to bed, and you know, I'm moving my mom out of the house. I want her to have, you know, a little freedom. Plus, her and the wife are fighting. I'm just joking, they're not. that will happen though, depending on like who's in the kitchen at whatever time, right? So anyway, I'm moving my mom out, and I take her to American Furniture yesterday. And I just buy her, this didn't even cross my mind, by the way. I buy her everything, like brand new couches, brand new freaking dining table, brand new, bed, TV stand, brand new everything, right? Everything. And it didn't cross my mind. It was just like, oh, whatever, I'm just buying her some stuff because she's moving out, boom, right? And then she comes home, she had a dinner somewhere. Came home, I'm on the couch, and I'm watching this movie called The Irishman on Netflix. It was crazy. 3-hour movie. People kept telling me to watch it, so classic, The Irishman. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. So I'm watching. It took me like 3 days because I don't watch a lot of TV, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch an hour this time. My boy Spence, he was back there. I watched a little bit with him one day, and then I watched a little more. You know what I mean? Like, it was split, but I finally, 3 hours I watched it. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching like the last part of it, and then my mom, she just looks at me, you know, she doesn't speak English very well, so she tells me in Spanish, she's like, son, hey son, and I go, and then I pause it, because, you know, every time someone tries to interrupt me when I watch a movie, I pause it, right? So I pause it, I'm like, hey, what's going on, Mom? She's like, hey, I just want to tell you that, you know, I really do appreciate what you did for me today. It means the world to me. And I was like, what is she talking about, right? And then she just walks into the room, you know, she just leaves. And then today, she was like, yeah, I was bragging to my friends that you bought me like brand new everything. You know, I've never had brand new everything to move anywhere. You see, like little things like that cross your, you know, it's crazy, right? So it was very emotional for me. And I started, like I said, when she said that to me last night, I started praying. And what I asked God last night and this morning, I said, Lord, I wish I can live every single day like I was a 90-year-old man. Like, I wish I can live every single day like I'm literally on that, like I'm close to death. Like it's literally my last day on earth. I promise you, I'm giving you my word. I promise to God, I really wish I lived every single day like I felt like it was my last. Because you know what? I would have way more love in my heart, you know. I would have more joy in my heart, more patience in my heart, more tolerance in my heart, like more gratitude in my heart. So to me, you know, that would make me feel successful if I was overwhelmed with these emotions every single day, because I would be floating on a pillow, you know. To me, that means the most to me is like inner peace, happiness, joy, love, gratitude. That to me is success. You know, we spend our entire lives chasing financial success that when you get there, you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was going to make me happy. There has to be more. What else? Am I missing something? There's more. Because we live in a society of what? We live in a society of more. Is that correct?
And perception.
But we live in a society of more, right? More. Okay, I got the 1,200 square foot house. Your next goal is to get what? The 2,000 square foot house. And then after that, the 2,500 square foot house. And the 3,000 square foot house. And the 4,000 square foot house. I mean, we really do live in a society of more. So please keep that in mind. Like, you don't have to live your life that way. Like, who told you you have to? Because you see it on Instagram and Facebook. You don't have to live your life that way. You know, so content, fulfillment, love, joy, gratitude, like that is success. You know, how you treat people, that is what makes you successful. I'll tell you when you know you're successful, okay? When we're all gonna die. I don't know if you knew this. There's no secret. Like, we're all gonna die at some point. We're all gonna get old at some point, okay? When people come to your funeral, the amount of people that come to your funeral, in my opinion, that's gonna determine how successful you were. Like, people that are there and they're just bawling themselves, like, because they loved you and they know that they're not gonna have you in this world anymore, that is what makes you successful. You guys got that? Okay, thank God. You know, because there's people out there, Steve Jobs, no disrespect, is he financially successful? Was he personally successful in life? Excuse me? Absolutely not. He didn't even have a relationship with his daughter. He had a broken marriage. You see what I'm saying? Like, so who's more successful? The guy that makes $100,000 a year, that is happily married, and he is just indulged in love by his wife and his sons or whatever and his family, or Steve Jobs, who was worth a few $1 billion, dies, daughter probably doesn't even come to the funeral. You see what I'm saying? Who's more successful? You know, define success. So keep that in mind. You know, I have two friends in here, people that I actually consider friends, all right? Kenton and Kalal. Where's Kalal at? Right there. These guys, all right, they can attest. I had a really deep conversation with them in our office one day. And I said, the next time I see you guys remember those words? What did I tell you guys? You know what? Let's do this. Because they had a common roadblock, and we're going to talk about that. We're not going to get really deep into that, but without going too much into their personal lives. Kalal, these guys, you guys, in my opinion, I've seen what you guys done. Jaden can attest. You guys have done a few hundred, for sure 6 figures in real estate, right? Yes. In multiple markets. Yes. And you guys are back to square one. Is that correct? Yes. What do you think? You know what? Can you guys come up here real quick? Because people need to learn. Because there's people in here that really need to hear this.
You told me right before I bring you on stage.
We've personally done deals with these guys. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in multiple markets. Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, Phoenix, Arizona. We've done deals with these guys. Okay? These guys, how old are you?
24.
24? 23. I'm like, okay, wow, these guys they're monsters, right? These guys are monsters. 23, 24, doing deals, killing it. They're on their way up, right? Why are you back at square one right now, in your opinion? We're going to be, you want to talk about serving? Let's serve.
We lost track of, what our goals were. And like you said, we made some money, right? And
some?
We're young.
You made a lot of money.
We made some money, and we're young, started just going down the wrong path a little bit, lost track, mismanaged money, spent it in the wrong places, and that's why I'm here. I'm still here today. Like I said, I've been doing this for 2 years.
I appreciate that.
I'm still in this room.
I appreciate that.
Went to Last Momentum, went to 2 of your events, and yeah, I'm still here to learn. Exactly what he said. He said, I know nothing and I am nothing. That's why I'm here, is because we're nothing. There's still so much to learn. So.
Absolutely.
I think one of the big reasons that we are, we did lower down to the stage we're at is just our programming. I felt like when we got money, and I feel like every time that we would get money, we wouldn't use it to grow our business, like you said, instead of just personal. Like, we would get money, it's like, okay, I can handle this, I can handle that, rather than putting it back into the business and letting that grow. So yeah, that's a big reason that I'm here, is to learn how to be consistent and get that going, and not have to go up and down, and do that, or at least doing that big on a more successful level.
Do you think that happened to you or for you?
I think it happened for you.
Absolutely.
I know that you may think like, at that given time, I cannot believe this is happening to me. But the fact that you guys are here in this room again, after taking all those, winning at that level, and then taking all those losses, and you're here, and you're learning, I really do believe that these things were happening for you because you're freaking 24 and 23 years old. What better age to learn this stuff? To learn, like, if I'm not a good steward with the blessings God gives me, I'm gonna be back at square one. You learn this at a really early age, thank God.
And so I have something from Uncle G. Most of you guys know Uncle G, Grant Cardone here. He told me, he said, nothing happens to you, it happens because of you. So take ownership for that. We're up here telling you guys why we're back here, right? It's because we mismanaged money, we did stuff like that. But nothing happens to us, it happened because of us. Happened because of a decision, right? But the next thing, we're gonna go back up because of us. It's not gonna happen to us, it's gonna happen because of us. Thank you.
If there was some kind of New World Order form and they took all the money from the richest people in the world and they distributed equally to everybody from east to west, right? You know what would happen in a few years? What do you think would happen to that money? It would end up in the same freaking hands they took that money from. You guys know why? Programming. That's why. Have you guys noticed, and I'm sure you've heard this because you guys are growth junkies, right? And you're education junkies like us. Have you guys noticed a lot of athletes end up broke? People that win the lottery end up broke in a matter of years? Or dead. Actually worse, because then, they develop habits and, right, and it goes from bad to worse. Guys, that's no coincidence. And, at their young age, thank God, this didn't happen when they were, 40, 50 years old. At their young age, they know that right here, this is where the power is. They're already, look, see this, they're like, oh, we already got a deal working. See, now they're bouncing back because they're destined for that. They're destined to be on that path of greatness, God willing, success. And I know that, bro, 2020, God willing, is going to be an amazing year for you guys. You guys just have to be good stewards of that money, No instant gratification, delayed gratification, the bigger picture, right? That's what you guys got to look for in 2020.
Yes, sir.
All right? Yeah. For sure. God bless you guys. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Love you, man. Thank you. I don't care if you know everything you need to know about real estate. If you don't have the right mindset, nothing's going to happen, right? And then why are they always talking about spirituality and energy and frequency and blah, blah, blah? Because if you are this rotten person and your frequency is off, you're never going to attract what you're looking for. You're never going to attract it. If you are a POS, if you don't operate with integrity, then you're not going to have good energy. People are not going to like you. People are not going to do business with you. You're never going to land a deal. You're never going to make relationships through networking and friendships, etc. This is why we kind of, we tell you guys these things. And anybody who's successful here, because there are some successful people here, they'll tell you that is exactly correct. There's more to this than just money and real estate and business. There's way more. That's actually the smallest part of this whole thing, which is crazy. People don't understand that. So I want you to, I'm going to say, hey, raise your hand if this is your number one roadblock, all right, as we go down this list. That way we can kind of identify, who's who and what's going on. Raise your hand if past programming you feel is your number one roadblock that's keeping you. So past programming here with Kyle, right? Past programming. 2 hands, past programming. 2, 3 hands, okay. So we got 3 hands. Procrastination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, no, 14. That was Adrian. All right, procrastination, 14. Society, like the opinions of people. Friends, family, society. Society, nobody? You don't care what people say about you? You? Are you also? No, Mr. Yep, Anthony here. So you're a little concerned about opinions from society? Okay. Distractions. Well, I don't have, that's most. He raised his foot too. He's like, distractions. Okay, so that's something we definitely got to get deep on. Lack of belief. So everybody in here, okay, one guy, okay, 1, 2, 3, so. Boom. Boom, lack of belief, okay. We got a few in the room. Lack of action. That's a big one. That's a big one, so okay. Daily habits. Daily habits. That's a big one. Wow, okay. Complacency. Just being comfortable. Okay. You guys are actually very honest today. I appreciate that. I really do. Who do you here some daily bad habits that like you really want to kick to the curb? You do? Okay. So she's the only one with bad habits? Okay. Bad habits. What are some of these bad habits? If you guys don't mind, what are some of these bad habits? Social media. Sleeping in. Meal prepping. That's not a bad habit. Oh, like that's not a bad. Yeah. Who's ever read Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect book? So it's a damn shame if you read that book and you still have some bad habits, right? Because that literally breaks down how these small little details make the world of difference over time, right?
Small leaps makes mountain peaks.
Small what?
Small leaps makes mountain peaks.
Small leaps? Small tweaks.
Or small tweaks.
Small tweaks make mountain peaks, right? Yeah. So,
No worries, I guess.
yes. So, what do you have to say about habits?
You hit it on the nail. So it's setting yourself up for success. For me, I break things down to like the task that I have to do, right? If I want to get my first real estate deal, I know that I maybe need to speak to 100 people, right? If I need to speak to 100 people, how many leads do I have to get? How many calls do I have to make? And what daily little actions do I have to do to attain that, that micro goal, right? Is it making a few hundred calls a day? Is it knocking on a few doors? So for me, like the big goal always equates to a bunch of small little tasks that you have to do. So when it comes to habits, that's something I struggle with myself on different aspects, but it's breaking down to daily tasks that over time compound and accumulate to gigantic mountain. What is it? Mountain peaks.
Yeah. So, guys, do you guys understand the severity? Like, if you're not willing to change something as small as bad habits, why do you deserve to be successful? Right? If you can't stop watching Netflix every single day, like, why do you deserve to be successful? If you can't wake up at 5, 6 in the morning every single day, why do you deserve to be successful? Did you guys know that like massively successful people, they literally only make up 1 to 3% of society? 1 to 3% of society, right? They have to be doing something different. Your common Joe does all the wrong things every single day. Every single day. And I was just talking to my buddy Jordan at American Furniture. He's an aspiring wholesaler. And we were talking, and I said, look, brother, like one guy that I talked to him, and I talked to another guy named Emilio, I believe. I don't know if he's here. He left. He's full-time wholesaling now, right? The guy's doing deals, whatever. And Jordan's still there. And then I said, Jordan, look, listen, no disrespect. Take a look at the guy here lining up for lunch, because it was like lunchtime, and some dude, right, some skinny dude was just there to go get his sub and his coffee or whatever. I'm like, look, more than likely when this guy gets off at 5 or 6, and God forgive me if I'm misjudging this man, right? I said, more than likely this person, when he gets out of work, what do you think he's going to go home and do? Anybody have an idea? What was that? Entertainment, right? He's gonna go play video games, he's gonna go watch something, I don't know what he's gonna do, but he's not gonna do what the 1 to 3%ers do. That is already a disadvantage over like so many other people. That alone makes the world. Now imagine this, right? Imagine Sal, when he gets off of work, because I've been there. I had a job. Sal didn't have a job and I had a job. He had his dealership and I had a job. It took me 12 months to leave that damn job, okay? And I'll tell you guys how I did it. But if Sal's getting off of work at 3 p.m. and he's like, man, I want to make a lot of money and blah, 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 blah. And he's getting off at work at 3 p.m. and then after 3 o'clock, all he's doing is dedicating the rest of his day to educating himself in some way, shape, or form, or taking massive action in some way, shape, or form. And I'm like, oh, I want to make a lot of money. I want to be successful, blah, 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 blah. And I'm getting off at 3, and then from 3 to 6, I'm going to the gym. And then from 6 to 8, I'm watching Netflix. And then from 8 to 10, I'm like, well, I think I'll watch some YouTube, maybe watch the ALLIN podcast, see what they talked about today, right? Who do you think over the course of 1 year is going to get there first? Me or Sal? And why is that? The compound effect.
And by the way, and it's not like as bad as it sounds. Like Sal does not. It's not like Sal has no life. I'm just saying, or Carlos, what I'm trying to say here is this actually. You do this long enough, and you become so good at it. Like things start happening within shorter times. Then you start developing habits. So now you're not working just hard. You're working smart. So don't feel like this is a dungeon it's an endless dungeon that you don't get out, and you're like, I can't enjoy my life. No, but you have to start from somewhere.
Yeah. So guys, this is a very easy formula to success. It's a lot. We make it very complex when it doesn't have to be. Make a decision on what you want out of life. Sacrifice everything trying to get it, and then never, never, ever give up. It's literally that simple. Do you guys comprehend that? It's that simple, right? Everything else is just moving parts. Make a decision on what you want out of life. Sacrifice everything trying to get it, and never, ever, ever give up. That is how you can become successful very quickly in just about anything in life, not just real estate, anything that you want to do. Formula of success, make a decision. Okay, we got that. So life hack. So I'll tell you, and this is actually gonna make sense to a lot of you. Raise your hand again if you haven't got your first deal. First deal, guys. Raise your hand if you haven't got your first deal. Boom, 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 boom. So we got some. Raise your hand if you actually have gotten one deal in your life. One deal. One deal. Serge, I know you've gotten a few. Come on, Jason, Serge. You guys gotten some. Okay. So the first deal that Sal and I ever got, the first wholesale deal that Sal and I ever got, came from a bandit sign, handwritten bandit sign, okay? And the first deal we ever got, we didn't have an LLC set up. We didn't know.
Fix and flip was no LLC.
Yeah.
Even before that, yeah.
We didn't know how to run comps, so we paid way too much for the property, and we still only made, we made $5,000. That was our first wholesale deal. We didn't have an LLC. We didn't know how to run comps. Our marketing budget was about $500 a month, maybe $700, So, but what we did do was we took massive, massive action, and we just fell forward. Like we just kept failing forward. You don't have to, everybody thinks here, right? There's a hesitation. Everybody thinks that you got to have it all figured out until you get, I can't get my first deal. I got to have all this figured out. And that's absolutely incorrect. You literally need a person, you, a house, and a contract. That's it. That's all you need. All the rest of the stuff, I promise you will learn it. Like you'll learn it along the way if you care enough about it and you stick to it, you're going to learn so much. Coming to places like this, these kind of meetups, you're going to learn so much. Going on YouTube, going on different podcasting, reading different books. You're going to learn everything you ever need to learn. And you know what? The most important thing, like the most important lessons that you'll ever get are from actual experience, like doing them. When we did our first deal, we didn't know how to find buyers, so we found a guy named Brian Ponciano on Facebook. And then we had to force the deal down his throat because we got it too high, right? We got this thing, but he made like 30K because you know what? God was on our side. There was one of my buddies was rehabbing 2 properties on the same block, Jared Vidalis. He was rehabbing, and I said, hey, Brian, you really should buy this deal because he's rehabbing these 2 properties and they're going to come. This guy went off projection. Like God was definitely on our side because we paid, at this time, this is 2016, guys. And we paid $88,000 for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath Maryville property. At that point in time, these properties were going for $50,000, $60,000, maybe $70,000, not $88,000.
And he bought it for 93.
And he bought it for $93K. God was on our side. That was our first. So again, we didn't know how to run comps. We didn't have an LLC. We didn't even know where to get buyers from. But we made it happen because we took massive action, fell forward. So stop thinking that you got to have it all figured out before you go out there into the cold and get your first deal. You don't have to have it all figured out. You can literally read a book called Flip that's $10 and get out there and start dropping signs, flyers, knocking on doors, cold calling.
You'll find it for free too.
Right? So I'll tell you this. If you have $500 a month as a marketing budget, I'm going to tell you what I told Jordan at American Furniture. I said, brother, go get a car rail, because he's splitting it, him and a business partner. Go get how much is car rail every month?
29 bucks, I think.
29 bucks?
Yeah,
go get a car rail. Go get a dialer, allindialer.com. It's $90 a month, all inclusive by ZenCall. Right? Get 2,000 records from listeners at 3 cents. What is that? 2,000 records times 3. Anybody? 60 bucks? All right, you got to get more records than that. Get 10,000 records. 10,000 records at 3 cents from listsource. Get the absentee, high equity, 30% plus or more equity. Okay? That's going to cost you 300 bucks at 3 cents. Skip trace it, needtoskip.com, TransUnion data, need to skip. Use the code FREEDOM and you get it at like a few cents per skip. So now you got all this data. Now you skip trace all this data. You got your dialer firing up. You got your car rail ready to go. What do you think you need to do next? Take action. Start calling. I promise you'll eventually land your first deal. Is that simple? I just told you how to do all this in like with less than $500-600 bucks. Okay. Get carrail.com. Carrail, that's the phone system that you're going to use. Carrail, it's $29 a month. Okay? Get allindialer.com. That's $90 a month. That thing dials it can dial up to 12 numbers. Do 3 numbers, Sal? Do three numbers, right? Do the 3 to 1 ratio, 3 to 1 dialer. Okay, you guys got that? Allindialer.com, one word. It's by ZenCall. You go get ListSource. Go to ListSource. Make sure that you get it for 3 cents, by the way.
Or, since we're local, PropertyRadar.
PropertyRadar.com. It's like $70 a month. It's like $49 a month. PropertyRadar.com or ListSource.com. Get 10,000 records. Okay? Skip trace them. Needtoskip.com. Use the coupon code FREEDOM. And start burning the phone. Start burning the phone. But that's only if you really want to make this happen. Because if there's 100 people in the room right now, 150 or whatever, I think only about 5% of you are actually going to go and do this. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. And that's the problem with entrepreneurship. So if there's 100 people in the room, 5 of you are going to take those instructions and actually dedicate, and you're going to keep burning that phone until you get your first deal. 5 of you. But what if I told you that if you do those, if you literally follow those instructions to the T, you're going to make $30,000 in 30 days or 45 days. Would you do it? What was that? Would you do it? Yes. So why not?